Hello everyone, CatWeazle here, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Perdition's Mouth, Abyssal Rift, where we're still playing Scenario 3B, Pet Laboratory, and here we are just about to start episode 10. Now I'm pretty much playing this right after the last one, so if I have made any mistakes I may not be able to catch them, but one thing that I caught in editing was this guy. These are actually now bunched up. The reason is I moved him to here when we did the move. I shouldn't have done that because that brings him within 3 range. He wants to stay at 3 range all the time. So 1, 2, 3. He would have stopped here. So these guys have bunched up with him. He's now at 3 range. He's going to stop there. So that has worked in our favour. I cannot say that I'm in any way devastated about that turn of events. So I've popped him back there. Right-o, so here we are. And let's move straight into episode 10 and the hero phase. And here we are at the hero phase. Who is going to go first? Well, a laughabout is going to go first. So she is going to spend 1, 2, 3 action points. Oop, spin these around. She's going to spend 3 out of her 4 action points to get on the rest tab. Now, she won't be able to aid anybody, but she can be aided. In fact, I've just got to check something. Won't be a second. Okay, I've just checked that. I just wanted to make sure it was just aiding that couldn't be done, and it is aiding that can't be done. So she's here. Now, that means she gets to shuffle all her discards into a deck. So it's all these. Remember, there are 2 wound cards in here. So we're taking a bit of a chance. We'll have a good shuffle. Now, we may pull a couple of these actual wound cards, but I do want to take the chance because we need cards for aiding purposes. She won't be able to play them this turn because she's on the rest spoke, but we want them for the future. So let's do a quick cut, and whoop, that's upside down. So she's got a hand size of 5. At the moment she's got Wall of Stone, so we're picking 4 cards. Rush. That isn't a wound. Good. Then this one is, we've picked one of our wounds, so we've got, what is it? Smashed tendons for -1. Superficial damage, but the intense pain ravishes your mind and forces you to the ground. Damn. So, yeah, -1. I mean, yeah, we'd have to play it on a combat. Then we've got Experimental Device. Oh, this could be a good one. Reaction. This provides 13 for aiding and you gain a fatigue. And we remove the card from the deck for the rest of our level. Okay, but what we do need, come on, we need gasoline will do, but we could have done with a few of these are all back to front, aren't they? Right, what we could have done is, you know, mind you, that Experimental Device is pretty good. So that could come in useful, even if we do gain a fatigue. So unfortunately though, we've got Smashed Tendons. Let me set this up. The thing I was checking for just before regarding aiding, it was specifically for if this happened. If I'd got this or the other one as well, then I just wanted to make sure that Simmer could actually get rid of them, you know, with the laying on hands. And he can, because that's not an aiding card. So it's just aiding that you can't do or have done to you. So hopefully we'll be able to get rid of this card. So right, we'll put that over there. That is the end of Alathabal's go. Who is going to go next? And here we are. Well, Bastion is going to go next. And Bastion is going to go onto the attack spoke. So 1, 2, 3. He still has 2 left, so he's going to use one of those. He's going to use 2 of those to get a combat. That puts his combat up to 5. This guy has got a defense of 3. So it is 5 versus 3 at the moment, but we have to pull a card as he's on the attack spoke. and we get numbed hand. Now, I knew this was there, but remember, I've been thinking about Simmer, so he's got numbed hand that he's pulled. So, put that on his player area. So, that is, what is it? Yeah, it's just a -2 combat, isn't it? What's this at the bottom? Some serious luck there, no broken bones, no major blood loss, just a very numb hand. Well, there you go. So at least it isn't an infestation or something. So we've pulled out smashed tendons for a Lathabal and numbed hand for Bastion. That's cool. Now we've got the actual attack. So he's got 5 with the one that he spent here. And versus 3, is he going to be aided? Well, yes he is. Simmer, let's just check. He's not on the rest tab. It's going to do a +3 to that, so it's going to be 8 versus 3 again. Yep. So all we need is to make sure that this is not a +5. Surely that's not going to happen again. Ooh! Nearly. It was a +4. But fortunately, that's good enough. Let's get rid of this. And the good news is we have got rid of this final summoner. Get thee to the dead pool. Fantastic. So we've finally managed to get rid of those summoners. Let's spin Bastion round. That is the end of his go. Who is going to be next? Our next player is going to be Elisa. What is Elisa going to do? Well, she's going to go 1, 2, skip 3 and go on to aimed shot. That will give her +1 combat. So she now has a combat of 1. She is going to play Fireball because these guys are all bunched up. Remember, this guy held back because he wanted to stay in 3 range, so we can cast Fireball. Cast a flaming spell, your attack becomes an area attack, +3 combat against 1 figure in range, this guy, and each other figure within 1 range of it, so the guy who's right behind it. We don't have to worry about heroes, there's none there, so we're playing that, so that's +3, plus the 1 off here is 4, plus we are going to play Helping Hand. So that is 6. 6 versus a Cultist Guard has a defense of 2. So it's 6 versus 2. So it's going to draw its response card and it's a +2 and that is not good enough. So boom. That is 1 hit on this guy and 1 hit on the guy right behind. That one is fine, it's out of the blast range. So we discard both of those, which is cool. And we've still got one thing to do, and this is the clever bit. I'm quite chuffed with this. When I work this one out, we get 1 move. But we can move anywhere, because it's one of those that ignores, it's a move that will ignore these difficult terrains. So what she's going to do, she's going to move on there, and that takes her out of range, out of line of sight. It has to be centre square to centre square, and as you can see, that is not a case of clipping the corner, it is nowhere near. So she is now out of range. Well, she's not out of range, she's out of line of sight. So she's just nipped back there. Brilliant, she's now out of line of sight. So we'll spin that around. That is excellent. Next up, it has got to be Simmer. And here we are with Simmer. Just one thing about that movement, it is rubble. So there is a failure event for her moving in there, but the failure event is no more movement. And she's not moving anywhere else anyway, so that's fine. Right, Simmer. What's Simmer going to do? Well, Simmer's going to go onto the special tab here. So he's got 7 action points. So that's 1, 2, 3, skip, skip, 4, 5. So he can move 1 space after this, and he may well move 1 space. So what he's going to do is, let's have a look at his specials. Now he has got banish, but you know they're already 4 squares away, so he's not going to use that. He is, however, going to use laying on hands. Let's use this again. We will look it. We got it back. You and every hero within 1, but that can be boosted, of you may heal a wound card in hand, and you place those wounds into the discard pile. So you see why I was picking up a few wounds, because we had laying on hands. Now Elisa is 2 away, so we're going to have to boost that. So what are we going to boost it with? I think we are going to boost it. Hang on, I've just got to check the boosting rules. Won't be a second. I'm back. Unfortunately, we can't boost it. We haven't got a special card to boost it. I was wondering, you know, if we could just use another card as 1 action point. You know, like you can with, you know, just play it as an action point. But I don't think you can. I think we have to play a special card or an all symbol card, and we just don't have one that will be able to boost it. So unfortunately it's just a Lathabal and Bastion, but they will get rid of numbed hand and smashed tendons. They go into the discard pile, so at least we got rid of those. I think Lathabal has still got a wound. Bastion hasn't now, got rid of his, and Elisa's still got one. Unfortunately, we weren't able to help her out, but Lathabal has still got godly power, which allows him to help 1 hero get rid of a wound card. So if you can actually get next to her, he will be able to play that. Oh, in fact, he could move 1 now. Yes. He's going to move 1 now, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this, because he's still on the special tab. So then he's going to play Godly Power. So remember, he had 2 action points left to move, so he played Laying on Hands, got rid of the wound cards off these guys, then he's moved as per that, and then he's playing Godly Power. I think he can do that. I don't think there's a problem with it. He is spending 2 cards, so it's not as like we're getting anything for free. So she is now within 1, and she can get rid of a wound card in hand as well. So she is going to get rid of Severed Artery. Now I think because we're getting rid of it, even though we're getting rid of it into the discard, the wound discard, we will still get this fatigue. So we get rid of it, and now we apply the fatigue. And what I'll do is I'll put it here on top of her hero peg, just so I can remember that she has 1 less action point. Okay, right, so that is that. We'll get rid of both of those. I think that was okay. So we'll put them there. And that is it. He has moved here. So he's not in range at the moment. But I think that means that, yes, because this square is occupied, it means he is not in line of sight either. He's out of range anyway at the moment, but that looks pretty cool to me. Okay, so that is Simmer's go. And that is the end of the hero phase. Let's get on to the enemy phase. And here we are at the enemy phase. We're in pretty good shape as well. Because of where we are on here, they can't get an attack in because they're not getting a move first. So long as we don't get 1, 2, 3, 4, as long as we don't get a +4, we're fine. Let's see what we've got. We've got a +2, brilliant. So that is attack, then move. Well, they can't attack She is out of line of sight because it's not a question of clipping the corner, it just goes straight into the wall. So she's out of line of sight, he can't attack, the rest obviously can't attack. This guy can't attack anybody, so that is it for the attack. So we go on to move. Now, he wants to get into range. Yeah, first of all, he has to get into range, so he has to go 1, 2. Even if he stops there, that is going to clip the corner. Yeah, it's going to go well over the corner. He has to get here in order to just clip the corner. So he's moved 2. So obviously follow up. And obviously this guy, who I should have moved first, has moved down here. So he is nearer to, sorry about that, not the camera. He is nearer to the Acolyte exit and knocking the threat up. Whew, but that is a lot better. That is a lot better. So hopefully we'll be able to kill a couple of these guys. So let's find out if we can. Let's get into the next hero phase. And here we are at the hero phase. Who is going to go first? Well, Bastion is going to go first. Let's spin all these guys around, however. So we know who's gone and who has not. So Bastion is going first, and he is going to sprint. So he's only spending 1 of his action points to go on the sprint tab. So he has got 4 left. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to go on that bit of difficult terrain. Then he's going to get his response card, and he gets a +4. Fantastic. Even though we don't need +4, but at least if we pull them, it means these guys aren't pulling them. So he's going to move up 1. So he is there. This doesn't affect the line of sight for Elisa. She can still see the centre of there to the centre of here. So I think that's fine. So it's just that corner there, and you can go past 1 corner with line of sight. Exactly the same for the guard as well. The guard can still attack her. So we're fine there, I think. That is it for Bastion's go. Who is going to go next? Our next player is going to be a Lathabal, because we need to get her off the rest spoke because we want her to do some aiding. So she is just going to move, so that is 1, 2. She's got 2 action points left. So she go 1, 2 to here. But first of all, we have to pull another card. Let's see what we get. We get Pull Back, which is a special card. Oh yes, we used this a few turns ago, didn't we? Where you can move 3 action points worth of movement at no cost, and then heal some people as well. That'll be useful. So pretty good, yeah. So she's got that, but she's also got to move. She's got 2 action points left, so she's going to go 1, 2. So she's not exactly right next to everybody, but she should be able to help people out, no problem. So that is her go. Who is going to go next? Well, our next player is going to be Simmer. And Simmer is going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 action points to rest. Because once again, he has got very few cards. So it's more to... I mean, we haven't spent that many. We've spent a few, but he still had plenty left. But it's more a case of drawing up to our hand size again, because we're going to need as many cards as possible. Again, he's on the rest tab, so he will not be able to use any of these cards for aiding purposes this turn, but let's get them in his hand. So there we go, and we'll do a cut. So he's got a starting hand of 5, so we need to draw 4 cards. He's already got Squeeze in his hand. So we get Power Surge, good one. Heavenly Blessing, we like that one, that's a high one. Light from the Sky, another high one. And Haste, that is very useful. this time, hopefully, we will use it better than last time. So there we go. We'll put these cards into his hand. Brilliant. So that is a nice set of cards. Righto. So that is it for Simmer, which means, yes, that's it. It's Elisa's turn. And here we are with Elisa. So Elisa has only got 3 action points, remember, because she's got a fatigue. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3 and use them all up to go onto the attack tab. She will get a card, and she gets Barbican of Fire. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We may as well leave that out, because now she's got to attack. She had no action points to do 2 for 1. So she's going to use Barbican of Fire and Elvish Dagger. That is going to give her 7 attack. 7 attack against 2 defense. Please don't be a +5 response card. Not now. It's a +2. Thank God for that. So we get rid of Barbican of Fire. And we get the Elvish Dagger back because we inflicted a wound. That is the 2nd wound on this guy. So we have killed him. Brilliant stuff. So that has worked out fabulous. So obviously poor old Bastion's in line of sight. But again, what we've got here is that is clipping the corner much too much. Yeah. So good old Elisa is out of line of sight because this guy is too far back. Okay, oh, I'll move that around as well so we know about Elisa's fatigue. Okay, so that is the end of the hero phase. Next up, it's the enemy phase. And here we are at the enemy phase. Looks like Bastion is in for a rough ride again. We will find out. So what have we got? Bastion's not in for a rough ride. Bastion's got very lucky. +1. Brilliant. That means we just go on the spawn. And there's no spawn. Fantastic. We may have pulled this one out of the bag. We may well have pulled this out of the bag. Fantastic. Right, so that is it for a very short enemy phase. Even this guy hasn't moved and moved the threat up, so that's fantastic. Yes, that was a very good episode. Hopefully I've made no mistakes, because normally when we get a really good episode like this, it means we've made a mistake somewhere. But hopefully not. And if we have, hopefully it's just a very minor one. So, what went well? Well, what went well was we killed the summoner, we've killed one of these guards, we've got them bunched up in a corridor, which is brilliant. It means they can't spread out and cause mayhem. Bastion is right at the forefront. We've got Alathabal and Simmer now, who have got lots of cards that can help Bastion to beat these guys. That guy's going to escape. Never mind. But something else I've noticed is once we've killed these guys, there's no more coming on the map. So we've got plenty of time to open these 2 chests as well. And we've also got plenty of time for Simmer to rest. Hopefully get those 2, that Godly Power card back, and what was the other one? Laying on Hands. We should be able to cure everybody as well. I don't think there is anything whereby, you know, things are going to come onto the map. Because we've killed everything, it'll be very leisurely. I probably won't show that in a video, because we'd just be sat here while I'm turning cards over and, you know, moving people down here. But, you know, to various treasure chests and stuff. And then moving all back so they can all stand around Simmer. But, I mean, I am getting ahead of myself. We haven't killed these 2 guys yet. But, yeah, if we get to a situation where that guy's gone off the map and we've killed these 2 guys, I think what we'll just say is they do manage to open both the chests. because they're just going to have loads of time to have a go at them. And also they will heal because Simmer has got loads of time to rest, go through his deck till he gets those laying on hands and what was it, godly something or other card. But as I say, we'll have to kill these two guards here, but it's going pretty well and it's looking pretty good. It looks like Bastion is going to mop everything up with any luck. So that is the end of episode 10. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks very much for all the subscriptions, for all the views, for all the likes, and basically for all the help and support. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody who's been to Board Game Links to upvote the sites. I think we're in 12th, which is amazing. That is just amazing. Thank you. And to everybody at Board Game Geek who has liked the threads, who's commented on the threads, who've upvoted the videos. Thank you so much. Right, so I think that is it. As I say, if you have noticed any errors, please let me know. Hopefully they were small. As I say, normally when I have a really good episode, it means I've dropped a right clanger. So hopefully I haven't. Anyway, that is it for episode 10. I do hope you join me for episode 11. Let me know, if we do manage to kill these guys, what you think about, you know, do you want to see me running around the map to open these treasure chests, and do you want to see Simmer, you know, just stood there, you know, rifling through his deck until he gets those two cards to heal everybody. I don't mind doing it, it's fine, but I'm just wondering whether you'll find it exciting to watch or not. Please let me know in the comments. But as I say, that is the end of episode 10. I hope you join me for episode 11. Until then, this is me, CatWeazle, signing off. Toodaloo.